Homeopathic Medication Part 5. Revival in the 20th Century. According to academics Paul U. Unshold and Edzard Ernest, the Nazi regime in Germany was fond of homeopathy and spent large sums of money on researching its mechanism, but without gaining a positive result. Unshold also states that homeopathy never subsequently took root in the United States, but remained more deeply established in European thinking. In the United States, the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act of 1938, sponsored by Royal Copeland and a senator of New York and homeopathic physician, recognized homeopathic preparations as drugs. In the 1950s, there were only 75 solely homeopathic practitioners in the US. By the mid to late 1970s, homeopathy made a significant comeback and the sales of some homeopathic companies increased tenfold. Some homeopaths credit the revival of Greek homeopath George Vithoulkas, who conducted a great deal of research to update the scenarios and refine the theories and practice of homeopathy in the 1970s. But Ernest and Simon Singh consider it to be the link to the rise of the New Age movement. Bruce Hood has argued that the increased popularity of homeopathy in the recent time may be due to comparatively long consultation practitioners are willing to give their patients and to a preference from natural products which people think are the basis of homeopathic preparations. Towards the end of the century, opposition to homeopathy began to increase again, with William T. Jarvis, the president of National Council Against the Health Fraud, saying that homeopathy is a fraud perpetrated on the public with the government's blessing, thanks to the abuse of political power of Sen Royal Copeland, thanks to the abuse of political power by Senator Royal S. Copeland. This has been done a fraud sponsored by government and on the people. Homeopathy is a fraud perpetrated on the public with the government's blessing. 21st century renewed criticism. Since the beginning of the 21st century, a series of meta analyses have further shown that the therapeutic claims of homeopathy lack scientific justification. This had led to the decrease of the suspension of funding by many governments. In a 2010 report, the Science and Technology Committee of the United Kingdom House of Commons recommended that homeopathy should no longer receive National Health Service funding due to its lack of scientific credibility. NHS funding for homeopathy ceased in 2017. They also asked the Department of Health in the UK to add homeopathic remedies to the list of forbidden prescription items. In 2015, the National Health and Medical Research Council of Australia found that there are no health conditions for which there is a reliable evidence that homeopathy is effective. The federal government only ended up accepting 3 of the 45 recommendations made by the 2018 review of pharmacy remuneration and regulation. The same year, the US Food and Drug Administration (FDA) held a hearing requesting public comment on the regulation of homeopathic drugs. In 2017, the FDA announced it would strengthen regulation of homeopathic products. The American Nonprofit Center for Inquiry (CFI) filed a lawsuit in 2018 against the CVS Pharmacy for consumer fraud over its sale of homeopathic medicines. It claimed that CVS was selling homeopathic products on an easier to obtain basis than standard medication. In 2019, CFL brought a similar lawsuit against Walmart for committing wide scale consumer fraud and endangering the health of its customers through its sale and marketing of homeopathic medicines.